told that if we meet our sales targets or our budgets, automatically we'll be promoted. Now, a lot of times we know that that's not 100% true, because there have been times when salespeople meet their budgets or meet their sales targets, yet they aren't promoted. In this video, we're going to continue on our series from yesterday, talking about mastering office politics for success. So that even if you meet your targets or you don't at any point in time, it shouldn't stop you from being promoted, and I'll tell you why. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you as we begin right now. My name is Yoro Bigwe. I've trained over 24,000 salespeople across 5 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. I'm an author of several books and resources on sales. I've been featured on a lot of media platforms to talk about successful selling. I worked at an organization where I was given a target to sell to 20 high net worth individuals, and I was able to bring in 21 high net worth individuals to the organization in a single month. I also participated in a sales competition where I won, and I was sent for the World Cup for an all-expense paid trip. I moved to another organization where I grew my portfolio by over 100% in just 11 months. I've been privileged to run an organization specialized in Salesforce management called Ultravantage, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can win and do well in office politics. Yesterday, we started talking about something related to the fact that we first of all put some context into what office politics is all about. We defined office politics, and we said politics refers to the Greek word for politics is politis, which refers to city and citizen. And we said, in summary, office politics refers to how staff in an organization relates with the organization, with their values, their people, the structures, and the systems. And the first point we gave yesterday, we said always make your boss look good. I explained that following your JD or KPI is not as important as following what is important to your boss. If you missed that video, you need to watch it again. So my third point now, quickly, your reputation is as important as your results. Your reputation is as important as your results, if not even more important. Now, when we say your reputation, what are you known for in your office? Don't let anybody make you think that all you need to focus on is just do your work, mind your business, and everything will take care of itself. It's not really so. Now, I'm not telling you to start to poke nose and start to dive into other people's business. Yes, in a sense, mind your business, do your work. However, there are some behaviors you must make sure that you have, because you know that you're relating to an environment. You already have a reputation in your office right now. Question, does that reputation give you an advantage, or it gives you a disadvantage when people are talking about you when you're not there? What your bosses say about you when you're not there really matters, because it determines if you go to the next level in your career or not. And that's why you want to work on your reputation. There are things you can do to work on your reputation. Number one, there are some basic things. Number one, you have to be in the office early. Number two, reduce the number of times you call in sick or calling for times you're not feeling too well. If you're not feeling too well for any reason, I remember calling my boss many years ago and I said, "Sir, I just woke up that morning and I felt a little feverish." And I said, "Sir, please, I'm not feeling too well. Hope you don't mind. I will not be able to come to the office today." He replied me. He says, "Yori, I'm not feeling too well too. In fact, I've not felt too well for the last 6 months, but I come to the office every day." So in his mind, and I think it was a good one, in his mind, he felt as long as you are not incapacitated and you cannot move, like paralyzed, he says still come to the office. If you come to the office, and of course, it's obvious, sometimes people come to the office and it's obvious that this person is really sick. You can even really see the temperature is there, everything is there. Automatically, everybody will tell you, please, you need to go to the clinic or go to the hospital. But to now not show up and be calling in sick, those things can affect your reputation. Another thing, of course, is when it's time, don't try to leave the office earlier before the time. Don't be the person who, once it is 5 o'clock, the person is already out of the office. Of course, if you're following the staff boss, we understand, right? But just make sure that you are known for the person who comes in early. You're known for the person who leaves at the right time, if not later, but not earlier. This is what comes to mind right now for building reputation, because you just want to make sure that in fact, even as little as your documentation, right? When you write letters or emails, you can have a reputation as someone who has typos in their emails. No typos. You read and proofread everything you send out, so that way everybody knows you as somebody who is excellent in the organization. So invest in your reputation. Be conscious of the fact that people are watching you all the time and are making decisions and are making judgments about you. Number 4, make those who matter like you. There are people in your organization who matter. Whether they are vertical relationships between you and your bosses, or those who report to you. No, it can't be those who report to you, right? Of course. Vertical relationships, those who you report to, right? Or horizontal relationships, your colleagues on the same level. These people, some of them are influencers. Maybe your colleagues on the same level. You know that they have some level of influence when it comes to certain decisions or certain conversations with the boss. Vertical, people who you report to, you know that these ones, they are the ones that will determine your appraisal and determine if you probably be going to the next level. You want to make sure that these people like you. And it's easy to make them like you, right? Of course, there are cases where no matter how hard you try, they wouldn't still like you, fine. But you want to do your own part so that it will make it easy for them to do their own part to determine if they like you or not. And this is important because, you see, in a work environment, you don't want to leave things to chance. You don't want to let it be based on chemistry. Oh, I find you attractive. Oh, we have similar interests, similar beliefs, similar backgrounds. If that is how you determine who you're going to roll with, or who you're going to work with in an organization, or who you're going to have more conversations with or build relationships with, it would limit your growth in that organization. So take it beyond, I find the person attractive, or I have chemistry with this person, or we have something in common, or we are from the same place. Take it beyond that. Look out for those who you know really matter. I worked in an office many years ago, and in this office, there was a lady there who really mattered when it came to the decisions. She was not my direct boss, but she was like the overall general manager. And you could tell that even if even if I had issues with my boss at any point in time, and I didn't have issues with her, she would find a way to either make it look good or not make it, or make it look bad. The point is that she had strong influence in that office. When it was her birthday, ladies and gentlemen, I'll never forget, I was in the store trying to decide what kind of, I wanted to buy her a gift, and I was in the store trying to decide what to buy. I saw one which was cheap, I saw one which was very expensive. And I remember calling my fiancée then, we're dating, we were not married. And I said, which one do you think we should go for? She told me, she said, I think you should go for the more expensive one. When I bought that lady that gift on her birthday, of course, I didn't announce it in the office. I just took it to her and I dropped it on my table and I said, happy birthday, man. When she saw the gift, she called me back into her office. She said, I saw your gift. Thank you so much. Thank you. From that day, I could tell that when she looked at me differently. When the matters came about my work, she treated it differently. But that money I spent to buy that gift, it took almost my entire salary. But I did that because I knew that to work in an organization and succeed, the people who matter have to like you. So you need to have relationships beyond even your departments. Other departments, other units, other regions. People who you need to get the job done. You need to have relationships with them. I talk about the competition where I won and where I participated in, and I won an all-expense paid trip to the World Cup. In this competition, we're supposed to sell 10 credit cards in 3 days. This was a Herculean task. The average target for everybody was 4 in a month. Now, most people couldn't even do 4 in a month. If you look at the reports at the end of the month, you will see that most people did 0, 1, 2. To even get 4 was a challenge. Now, this competition says whoever sells 10 in 3 days will send you for the World Cup all-expense paid trip. That was almost trying to do the work of 2.5 months in 3 days. What? Almost impossible. But I had just brought in 21 HNIs to the bank a few months back. So my colleagues were like, man, guy, you can do this thing. If you could bring in all these HNIs, there's no reason why you can't meet this budget. Go and try, take on this task, and let us present our branch to be one of the top branches that won this competition. So I took up this task and I won the competition. Now, part of what helped me was the fact that months before, there was a lady who, every time we tried to process our credit card transactions, she was in the head office. She seemed to be very difficult. She had a reputation. In fact, when we had NPRs, they would talk about her. She was not a senior person, but she was an operations person back end. They would actually talk about her and say that they didn't have nice things to say about her. But every time I spoke with her on the phone, I remember the principle that only hurting people hurt others. So it could be that she was struggling with a lot of things, had a lot of internal issues she was trying to resolve on her own. So every time I engaged her, I tried to be very friendly, very jovial, crack a few jokes here and there. And you could tell that she was developing a soft spot for me over a period of time. So even when her dad, at a point, I got her on the phone one day, and this was transactional, based on the transaction, just following up on my transaction. I got her on the phone one day, and I said, you sound different today. What happened? She said, she's fine. And I pressed, and I got to find out that she lost her dad. So at that point in time, of course, I followed up, checked on her, just to make sure that everything was well. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, when this competition started, my oh my, I didn't even tell her I was part of the competition. But every time I called, she just prioritized my transaction immediately. And it just moved quickly. And that was how I was able to succeed and even win in this competition. So, you see, you have to make sure that every time you engage your colleagues, you engage people in your organization, whether it's via chats, whether it's via chats within your organization's communication framework, or whether it's via phone calls or face-to-face, make them feel good about themselves. Be quick to give your colleagues compliments. Be quick to talk about how good their work is. You see, every time you talk to an employee about their work, they feel good about themselves. Tell them how good their work is. Tell them how smart they are. When it comes to their birthdays, prioritize it. Help them with their jobs, if possible. And this is not just colleagues. I mean, everybody in your organization, right? Whether it's people who are senior to you or people who are on the same level with you. Volunteer to join the ad hoc team. If there's a senior person and you notice that, oh, he has a particular project, trying to put together a team, volunteer to join that team. You'll be amazed how this would help you within the organization have a good reputation. Offer a helping hand. And if you notice that somebody has a lot of influence in your organization, don't go and meet the person and say, please be my mentor. Those things are just funny. Don't say, please be my mentor. Please, can you be my sponsor? Can you be somebody who can guide me in this organization? There are things you don't ask for like that. You'd rather be the person who wants to do a lot of giving. You want to give. You want to be somebody who you're in line with their goals. That particular person, the person has a goal. Get in front of that goal. How? By making sure that you are a part of helping them achieve that goal as much as possible. Number 5, ensure your work and achievements are seen. Don't work in private. Make sure people see your work. And that's why you should learn how to use the blind copy, the copy part of every email. When you send an email, the to part, TO, is to the person who needs to act on the email. The CC part of the email, that's the copy part, is to the person who doesn't need to act on it but needs to be aware. So every time you do work in your organization, copy those who should be aware that you're working. Now, don't go extreme and copy the MD, regional manager, when you know that it doesn't have to go that far. But the things that have to do with the things you know that are within your jurisdiction, your supervisors, people you report to directly, at least minimum they should be copied and be aware of what you're doing. If you're in a meeting, for example, part of being seen and being visible, when there's a meeting, you know what this meeting is going to be about. Do some research, if possible, before you get into the meeting. Read up a few things before you get into the meeting, so that you can be able to contribute and speak in the meetings. Ask intelligent questions. Demonstrate your great work ethic. Don't let them catch you sleeping in the office. Of course, sometimes while you work as salespeople, you could get tired. True. You'll be making cold calls all day. You could feel tired. True. But even if you want to do a short nap, make sure that the short nap is happening when the boss is not around. Not when the boss is passing by the office and sees you doing a short nap. What would he think? He would think you're not serious. So watch your back. What is watch your back? Yes, watch your back, literally. Because you want to make sure that you know that everybody in your office is looking out for themselves. Most people will not be looking out for you. So you want to work in such a way that nobody's going to find you guilty of slacking or not doing what you're supposed to do to win on the job. I'm going to continue with this again tomorrow. I trust you've, at least with these few points I've shared with you, you have something to take away, to act on, to use tomorrow, to use right now. In tomorrow's session, I'm going to look at how do you manage bad organizations, bad bosses, or bad co-workers. It's possible. You can have a bad organization, toxic organization, a bad boss, bad co-worker, and you're trying to navigate how to still get promoted, how to still win in your organization. Now, just a disclaimer, I believe that if you meet your sales targets, you meet your budgets, you will excel. Your chances of being promoted will be far higher than if you don't. So I'm not by any means telling you that you should slack and not give 100% attention to rising your career. All I'm telling you is that, sometimes some organizations, what happens when a team of 10 people, 8 of them seems to have met their budgets, and the quota for promotion is for only 2 people? What happens? This is where this kind of techniques and this kind of things I'm sharing with you come to play to give you the advantage. If you need us to train your sales team, able to train your sales leaders, please reach out to us. Our details are in the bottom of this description of the email. We'll be glad to work with you as an organization. Please remember to share this video with people who you know need this service, who you know need to watch this video. Remember to like, remember to comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.